pretty garbage, and it left out a lot of important characters and then just plain out forgot about a lot of them. For starters, Hawkgirl is in this movie. Isn't in this movie, and Hawkman is. Pretty sure he has 0 lines and he gets murdered when the movie's almost over. Black Canary has a huge role in the comics and the games. She's also not present or even mentioned in this movie, but her husband is in this movie. And then Huntress is in this movie. She gets murdered by Wonder Woman in the comics. But in this movie, she has like 0 lines, shows up a few times, and then she just kind of disappears. It's like this movie had something against women or something. So many important characters that just weren't in here. Green Lantern gets his ring taken away, so he just fucks off from the movie. I guess Superman never gave it back. Even though at this point, Superman wasn't completely lost yet. Speaking of that, there's a lot of deaths in the comics that just make you, hate Superman more and more and more. And you're realizing how far he goes. He kills Kalibak when he tries to bring a bunch of parademons to the Earth. And that pisses off Darkseid for a little bit. I honestly don't really remember too many people he killed. He killed Green Arrow brutally. And that's where I really realized that there's no saving him now. He beats the absolute shit out of him because he accidentally shoots his dad in the shoulder. He has time to understand what he's doing. He has time to stop. He's going full force with his super strength, so Green Arrow might be paralyzed for the rest of his life, but he chooses to kill him. In this, he simply gets shot with heat vision. And that's it. We don't even really see his death, because even though this movie's rated R, a lot of the deaths are censored, which I think is dumb. I mean, there's only so far you can go with violence, but this is an animated movie, so they can go pretty ham. A PG-13 movie, Batman vs. Robin, had someone's heart get ripped out, and this movie won't even show someone getting shot in the head with heat vision, which I thought was weird. Shazam fucks off from this movie too. He's like, hey, I disagree with you, and then we never see him again. Captain Atom gets choked. I don't think he dies. And then we never see him again. Aquaman has one scene where he's like, hey, you can't boss me around, or Atlantis. Then we never see him again. Though we do see a prison that I'm pretty sure is made by Atlantis, so I guess he's working with Superman now. In the comics, he gets the entirety of Atlantis lifted up in the sky when he says he won't help Superman. And it endangers his people, so that gets him to help him. In this, he just doesn't even show up besides one scene. This movie was just so rushed and so stupid. They have the iconic bomb scene, but they don't kill anyone important besides 2 people that have no voice lines and no prior roles. They have the 2 people from the Daily Planet that I forget the names of, that were the boss of Superman. Well, Clark Kent, his alter ego, whatever. That's it. Everything else is just random civilians. In the comics, Beast Boy gets blown up by it, and Superboy holds him in his arms, and there's a few other people that die. None that I remember, though, because I haven't read the comics in a while, but I do remember bits and pieces, especially the important parts. And it was just, way too rushed. It's only an hour and 18 minutes. And there is so many comic books. Even the games have longer story modes, I'm pretty sure. Not even combined. Victor Zsasz has a huge role in the comics. That's why I hated Injustice 2. I didn't exactly hate it. It's one of my favorite video games. But I hated the story mode. Not exactly hated it either. It wasn't the best, but I didn't hate it. Anyway, I hated that they killed Victor Zsasz. Because he has a huge part. He just shows up. Robin's like, how many people has he killed? And then he kills them. And then that's it. Never spoken of again. He's an important role in the comics. In this one, I don't know, they kind of did it even worse. He has like 2 or 3 lines. He's like, and then he gets sent to a random prison that's supposedly escape-proof with Mad Hatter, who I don't care about since, not a big role in the comics. I don't expect them to go exactly like the comics, but comics are really good. Why not go with them? Why make a movie called Injustice and not make it like the book? They were just like, well, Superman's evil in that book, so we're gonna make him evil in this movie, and that's as far as they got. Besides like 2 or 3 references to the comics, like Arrow's cave that he calls the Arrow Cave, and then Harley Quinn gives him a better name. That happened in the game too. That's about it, besides like maybe 1 or 2 things that I don't even remember. It's not a very good movie. I really don't recommend watching it. It's not worth your time. And Wonder Woman isn't even that bad in this movie. She pissed me off a few times, just like she did in the games and the movie. No, not the movie, the comics. But eventually, she's the one who kind of reasons with Superman. And he's like, well, fuck you. I can only trust myself now. And then lasers her and she disappears until he is better. Like, she is a literal god. I get Superman's probably not holding back, but she's a literal god, and you're gonna tell me one heat vision blast makes her disappear until he's sorry? Yeah, okay. But yeah, Wonder Woman is literally the only woman in this movie that has a big role. Harley Quinn and Catwoman do help take down Amazo, who did kill 2 major superheroes, but neither of them had many voice lines or a big role. Cyborg especially. I mean, Hawkman especially. Cyborg, he had a big role in the comics, and in this he gets controlled by Nightwing for one scene. He fights a few bad guys before the Thing goes rogue. Before Superman goes rogue, and he's in the prison. He just gets murdered not too long in. He has a big role. And Hawkman doesn't have a huge role, but he does have a decently sized role in the comics, and they just kind of killed him. I still don't get why Green Arrow was in this movie, Black Canary wasn't, and what they did with like half the superheroes, just them disappearing. Flash gets killed, and they never mention him, not even once. I get there's a lot of shit going on. They're trying to get Superman from going too far. Blah, 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 blah. But there's not even at least a scene where they're talking about how many people they have and how many people they need, who will be on their side or whatever. And then maybe just a small reference to Flash, like, well, we presume Barry's dead or something. That's it. That's all you need. But not even once. They find Scarecrow dead, which happens in the comics, but for some reason they completely forgot he's dead in the Injustice games, so he's in Injustice 2, and they kill him off pretty quickly by Wonder Woman. Anyways, Joker gets him killed by a buzzsaw or something, because he's, dizzy from fear toxin or whatever, and he's not fully focused, so I guess he just doesn't use his super speed. I mean, I get that he's not fully focused, but you'd think he would at least use his super speed and, like, accidentally run into a wall and knock himself out. I don't know. He shouldn't have died that dumbly. I don't even know the word for it. It was a dumb death. And they never talk about him again. And I think Green Lantern's thing was stupid. Because in most comics, they're not in every media. Because in the Green Lantern movie, I'm pretty sure nobody can take the ring off but him. And I'm pretty sure most comics nobody can take the ring off but him. But there is a Batman animated show that I've seen a clip of on YouTube where Batman takes his ring off. I don't get the continuity, but whatever. Anyway, Superman takes his ring off and just gently puts him down. I think it would have been much better and extended the runtime in this already shitty short movie if they had like a 3-minute fight and Superman knocks him unconscious and then gently puts him on the ground. So you can kind of see him want to restrain himself, make sure Hal's okay, but in the end he just uses his X-ray vision to see if he's breathing or not, and then he goes and murders Joker. Would have seen a bit of a softer side and see how he's not too far gone yet, but they're like, well, he took his ring off. Isn't that cool? Now you're never seeing him again. Well, actually, scratch that. We do see him another time. And that's when he's like, me, John, and Guy are going back to our planet or whatever. So I guess Superman did give his ring back, so I guess my point from earlier is irrelevant. But this movie's so boring, and a lot of characters just disappear, so I guess it's pointless anyway. I'm pretty sure Shazam, though, does not have a reason. And Aquaman goes back to Atlantis, and I'm pretty sure Superman's prison is in Atlantis. So why didn't we see him again? But yeah, that's about it. This movie was pretty dumb.